Hey YouTube, John, JD's Outdoors. Before I show you what happened around here, more than just my bananas, take a quick look at this little video clip during the storm. Alright, so at the time of filming this, we're about 7 hours into the storm. We've been without power for about 5, and internet went out at about 4 hours ago. So we've been without power for 5. Internet went out about 3 to 4 hours ago. I don't have enough service to barely make a phone call, send out a text message, let alone post a video anywhere. I was really hoping to be able to go live. But as you can see behind me, the storm is still whipping pretty good. We got some fairly decent damage to the fence. Overall, I did get a walk around the house a little bit ago. Overall, so far, the house is holding up to the best of its ability. It's got damage, but it's keeping us dry and out of the wind. So, not much can be said for all my banana trees. My entire backyard is holding the shingles from the neighbor's house. They have a tree on their house. Thankfully, it's a rental house and it's empty, so nobody's in it. But the door got ripped off of their shed. I'm gonna flip this camera around and kind of show you through this crappy glass door, because it's dangerous out there, man. So I apologize for the amazing video quality, but the shed so far is holding up. The griddle and the grill haven't moved at all. That fence right there was blown over, but the wind switched directions and picked it back up. Banana trees are about gone. Somehow this trailer hasn't moved. And that fence was laying completely down, but the wind switched direction and also lifted that back up. We're in the final hours of this event right now, and hopefully it ends sooner than later. It's getting old really quick. As soon as it's done, I'm going to go around and video what I can see for damage. Right now, I don't know if you can hear the wind in the background, but it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. We got sustained winds of like 111 to 120 miles an hour right now. With gusts nearing 170, 155, 170. That was the last I heard on the news before the internet quit. So, we'll see. We'll see exactly. But I peeked outside a little bit. This neighborhood is pretty much wrecked. So, if you're watching this, keep Florida in your thoughts, because this is one of, from what the news said, I'm not a meteorologist, but the news said this is one of the top 4 hurricanes. And with that being said, it's holding up. My house is holding up extremely well, all things considered. It's got very, very minimal damage at the moment, so if it keeps up at this rate, we should be in the clear. But I'll film the damage here shortly, and we'll see what happens. The power of this wind is nuts. So it ripped that palm tree out, landed on this, this is a rental house, neighbors, and tore off most of their roof. And what was left of their fence right here, tore that apart. I got it stacked at the end there, because part of it's my fence too. This whole neighborhood just got decimated. We got pretty lucky compared to some people, but here's just something to showcase the power of this wind. So this gate is not only upside down, but it's backwards. This is the bottom hinge, right? It picked that sucker up, ripped it off the hinge, and bashed it against the house. I'm missing a little bit of soffit. in some random spots. I'm not missing a single shingle on the roof, thankfully. The roof turned out good. Somehow the solar shed made it, but she did not make it she almost flew apart. I mean, I was out here holding the door shut several times to try to keep it from blowing apart because I need this thing. She was loud and getting tore apart. That roof, that tree is gone. The neighbors over there lost their pool cage. My bananas are gone. My other tree that was right here. This entire fence right here blew over. And then once the wind changed direction, it stood it right back up. So I'm just missing the corner for now. But this wind was absolutely crazy. They said the highest reported was 159 miles an hour. We had hours and hours of sustained wind over 100. It was solar shed made pretty good. It is windy. Let's see if I can come over here. All right, solar shed made it pretty good. I've been pretty taxing on it though the last 2 days because, well, pretty much the last day we had no sun and high winds and out of power, so I've been running my fridge and everything off of it. It's still up at 12.7 volts right now. We have a little bit of sun, as you can see behind me, but it's not enough. So my backup plan was this. Backup plan was to take the generator and run it to the extension cord over to this charger that Top Down sent me. And I got it going across both batteries, so it's charging both battery banks at the same time. It's probably gonna take a couple hours to get it back up in the 14s. Right now we're at 12.8, 12.7, bouncing around because I'm still drawing power off of this. Now I did buy the stuff to rewire this piece right here so I could run that back over to the generator and power it that way while I'm charging the batteries, but this thing's holding up pretty good. So glad I did that. So I'm up on the roof day 2. This is a little view of the damage. I know I said in my video earlier that this neighborhood is pretty wrecked, but all things considered, we got extremely lucky. Fort Myers Beach is pretty gone. There were people that were trapped inside their houses when their house flooded all the way up to the roof. And sadly, they didn't make it. So all things considered, we're fortunate. Spent a good amount of the day yesterday cleaning up. This is the rental house. Their roof is almost all the shingles are gone. They got a palm tree that's on it. And my roof, shout out to Affordable Roofing in Southwest Florida. They put this on for me. This is the only damage I got on the roof. That one little shingle. And the only reason that broke is because a chunk of that roof over there flew off and hit it. That was it. This tree, you could see in that little clip earlier in the background, they had a pool cage. And now the pool cage is inside the pool. And this tree was a big, beautiful tree. So is that one back over there. But it's gone. My shed, thankfully, made it. But not without me having to hold it down the last hour in the dark. I wasn't losing it. It made it all day just fine until the wind switched directions again. And the top started to lift off, the sides started to blow out, and I wasn't letting it go in the last hour of the storm, because that's been my saving grace in the last about 48 hours now, running my fridge and stuff. Neighborhood took a good hit, but not as good as a lot of them did. We're fortunate. That was a hell of an experience that I hope I don't ever have to experience again. Because that was not very much fun at all. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. And I used to have a neighbor that I didn't like. I wouldn't want him to go through it. But with that being said, neighbors around here all coming together, helping each other out. It's been great. It's been great to see. That gives you a little hope for humanity. Because we don't have power, we don't have water, we don't have electricity. Well, that's power, I guess. So we don't have power, we don't have water, we don't have internet. We barely have cell phone service. I found a spot with Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna go try and upload this a little later. Just to let everybody know that we did all right, but I got some friends that didn't do all right. Some of the stories I hear just makes me feel super lucky. So I don't have much to complain about. Truck took a little bit of damage, but it's minor. At least we're still alive and healthy, and my thoughts are with the families of the ones that were affected and that didn't make it. So it could always be worse. A couple dents and scratches, a broken shingle, and some missing soffit. It could always be worse. So keep Southwest Florida in your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching JDS Outdoors on YouTube. I'm going to go and finish cleaning up the little bit that I have to clean up.